Well, first off, I guess, people remember you as a pharmacist and owner of Wheeler's Drugstore here in Mayfield. How in the world did you get involved in radio?
Well, I guess I was a senior at Sedaya High School and graduated in 1950, and they needed to work on the weekends and afternoons. So I went to work there about 70 years ago, part-time, and I think I had a 1320 club in the afternoon that you played. I don't know, I was on for about an hour and a half, and you played what was popular that day. We'd get requests for it, and we'd play it, usually about 15 different songs. They'd always request what I'd played before, but and then they needed a band, so that Fonzy Davis, and he had a partner with him, Burr Rabbit. I think he played the mandolin and the guitar. Then they used a Mayfield girl, Linda Sue Courtney, for as a singer.
Now this was Fonzy Davis. This is Fonzy Davis you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And who are some of the other people you worked with there at WNGO back in the 50s?
Well, that's been so long ago, it's hard for me to go back. I don't recall too many. But Fonzy Davis came in there with a band, and Burr Rabbit was one of them. And then they hired two of Mayfield to sing. And I know one of her most popular songs, Won't You Ride in My Little Red Wagon? And she dated a Rothschild, I believe it was, that was a referee, and
I believe that was Rocky, wasn't it? Is that
Fonzy stayed on as a singer, and then after a band in a few years, well, then he got involved in part of it. He sold advertising, this, that, and the other. So then I left and went to pharmacy school at the University of Kentucky and came out and been a pharmacist up to about 4 or 5 years ago. I retired, I guess.
Now this goes back a long time ago, but didn't Fonzy Davis have Les Morgan in his band too? Didn't they play together?
Yeah, I think Les Morgan, and what's his wife's name? Little Katie?
Katie, yes.
Yeah, I think. It's hard to remember 7 minutes ago, much less 70 years.
I certainly understand. Well, it's been decades after Fonzy Davis, or as most people remember him, Uncle Fonzy, passed away. But, people still remember him and little things that he did on the radio. Why do you think he was so popular?
I don't know. Seemed like we had, I was trying to think, Les Morgan and Little Katie, and I can't think of any more right now that associated with him, but I guess he was Band of the Year.
Well, he as I remember, used to sing his own rendition of Mule Train, and he almost swallowed the microphone.
I know it. He was one of a kind. Of course, he put on some antics, and on radio you can't see it out, but I know I'd be in the control room and like to watch him because you never knew what he's going to say or what he's going to do when he opened his mouth.
I believe he passed away in the late 50s, around 58, didn't he?
Probably so. At that time, I'd gone to college, and I wasn't around there, but he was active when I was there in 51.
Now, of course, some people don't know this, but WNGO was not the first radio station. WKTM was the first one opened here in Mayfield. Do you remember that radio station, and were you in strong competition with them?
Well, it seemed like I was thinking that WNGO was first. That it was founded by Brother Southard from WYMC Baptist preacher, and he had some other people, stockholders. And then I was thinking they opened WKTM, and that stood for West Kentucky Tobacco company.
I believe that's the way I've heard the story too, and I think the Paxtons started KTM. As a matter of fact, Doris Mitchell gave us an account that they started the broadcasting in an Army tent when they first started that radio station.
I don't recall that.
Let me ask you something, if you could. Tell me, what was the music format back then that you played?
Well, at that time, it's most popular, just popular music, and then certain people, Fonzy and them, were country and western music, I guess.
On the commercials that you aired back then, were they recorded, or did you do most of them live?
No, what I did was straight, just typed out, and you were to read the manuscript.
Well, of course, that you never bumbled anything, did you?
No.
I didn't think you probably did. What was it like to be on the radio back then? Is it different than radio stations today?
Well, I don't know, because I haven't been around them, but
yeah,
they had everything planned out for you. And I think Fonzy in later days there kind of was a program director. He scheduled a lot of those things. But I remember primarily worked on the weekends while I was in school at Murray.
Do you have anything that you remember, anything, funny story or anything like that, of something that Fonzy might have been involved in, either on the air or off the air?
No, I can't think of any right offhand.
Yeah. Well, we certainly appreciate your time talking with us today, and I know that you don't live in Mayfield now, but I see you're very active on the social media. I don't know of anybody that has more birthday wishes going out than you do to people here in Mayfield.
Well, I belong to a church, and they send out a birthday list, and then if you have your birthday on your profile at Facebook, it pops up. So I usually have one or two, or sometimes four, in the same day. That's my best way of communicating with them.
Well, once again, I want to thank you for talking with us today, and if you're down in the area, stop by and say hi.
Okay, sure will. Good to talk with you.
Good too. Thank you. Bye.